It's the show that's moving fast. It's called The Captain and the Real Deal Podcast with our brother Top Gun, our flight engineer. We're talking Vikings and Hawks, man, the tip of the spear, because we float past clowns with the greatest of ease. They just buckle down to their knees with the grip of a pit bull locked on the mic. We'll be tearing it up night after night. I'm Captain Luke, an operator. I could never be a faker, and I'm serving you lyrics better than a damn waiter. Rhyming on this microphone, and I just never am alone with Big Gold and Top Gun. You know we full grown. Can you hear my tone? I'm in the podcast zone, giving you a taste of my microphone. The homie by my side, he will make you glide. So Big Gold, slice and dice and bring this party inside. Cut it up, B Gold. We get the call with the ball and we're ready to maul. There's no competition, we will never fall. Ball could be in the air or for that 9 route. I shake and bake at the line of scrimmage and I'm out. And off to the house with 6 more for the squad, generating the speed of a NASCAR hot rod. On arrival, the 12s go mad. The opposition got the Emerald Nation is glad. So brace yourself for the show that's the most. While B Gold is spinning, I'm one of your hosts. We also got the real deal who makes his cameo with unfiltered thoughts that'll jam you, bro. And our technician, aka Top Gun, he'll test his skills for fun, and he's never on the run. I'm Captain Fook, unfadable, just like the real deal. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill. That's a shout out to the homie George Clinton, the masters of the funk, yo. That's my opinion. So in 2022, and it's season 2, Captain Fook and the Real Deal are ready for you. If you're ready for us, there's no time to discuss. It's about that action, y'all. So get your butt on the bus, because the Captain and the Real Deal are ready to go. And if you are too, then let's start the show, because it's the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. What's it called? It's called the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. All right, then let's start the show.
Soldiers, 12s, and all you football fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Captain and the Real Deal Podcast. On today's episode, them guys will bring you all the latest news and information for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings, with your hosts, Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
We're back! Another week! Football fans, Scolders, and the 12s, Welcome to the Week 5 recap episode of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, alongside my co-host, Captain Voo.
What up, Emerald Nation?
And the Maverick, our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz. We have another great episode in store for you today. We're going to recap the Week 5 matchups for our respective teams and then preview the Week 6 matchups. Very busy week, so let's get to it. So as always, I suggest you fill up your solo cup. Mine was to the top. It's down a little bit now. Sit back and get ready to keep on keeping on.
Keeping on.
Hey, Cap.
Talk to me. Yes, sir.
You ready to roll?
You know I'm ready to roll. We go through things. It's okay. We have bark. You have to have it to be a Seahawk fan. We are in an interesting period right now, but it will be sunshiny on the other side, but we got to get there. We got to earn our way there. So that's what this is about. Let's go be gold.
All right, let's get right to it and start today with the recap of our teams. I'm going to get to the Vikings recap. I'm going to need some kind of soft music.
Story time.
Underneath the back.
There we go.
All right.
Talk us through it. I didn't get to see your game, so this is important.
The Vikings win the toss. And they don't defer. They elect to receive.
That's new.
That's new. O'Connell mixing it up. Kenny Nwangu returns it to the 14-yard line. No good.
Yes.
Not a good start.
That's
It's deep. Anyway, they methodically move down the field with a good mix of run and pass. Jefferson 4 catches on the drive. Cook finishes off the 12-play, 86-yard drive with a 1-yard TD run. 7-0 Vikings.
Getting off to a good start. All right.
Bears start at the 25-yard line and drive stalls at the Viking 31-yard line. Field goal attempt from 50 yards. It's good. 7-3 Vikings.
Rolling.
Vikings get the kickoff and don't return it. Start at the 25-yard line. Again, mix the run and pass and are at the Bucks 4-yard line at the end of the first quarter. Cousins is 13 for 13 to start the day at the end of the first quarter. And 3 more catches for JJ, Mr. Dynamite. Second quarter begins with a 4-yard TD run by Dalvin Cook, 14-3 Vikings. Wilson's marching around the living room going, Dad, you're going to have an easy breezy day. Bears, they return the kickoff to their 14-yard line. Danielle Hunter gets his first sack of the year, sacks Fields on third down. The Bears are 3 and out, and we got a punt. Vikings, Jalen Reagor initially catches the punt, but he fumbles it. That's what Eagles cut you. They traded to us, but he recovers it. The Vikings start on their 29-yard line, and that big play, Cousins to Jefferson for 31 yards, followed up by a ridiculous, you got to watch it, trick play. Cousins, he has a backward pass to the left side of the formation to Jefferson. Jefferson throws it across the field to Dalvin Cook, who runs it for 23 yards. You got to look it up.
I got to check that out. That sounds good.
And that got him down to like the 10-yard line.
High risk, but it worked.
They finish off the drive with Cousins' 1-yard toss to Jalen Reagor for his first Viking TD. Cousins just set the all-time consecutive completions record with his 17th completion, passing Tommy Kramer.
Wow.
21-3 Vikings. And by the way, Greg Joseph,
the leg,
mate Greg the leg, or the peg.
How'd he do?
He got those 3 extra points, so that's a positive.
You gotta like it.
We are up 21-3. Wilson said, I'm gonna go sit by the pool. 21-3. I know, Dad, you won't leave the games, but we got this.
It's over.
It's over. It's 21-3.
These are the Vikings, though, right?
Exactly. Bears start at their 20-yard line. They're forced to punt again from their 39-yard line.
The D stomping.
And it's a touchback. Vikings get the ball, start at the 25-yard line. Cousins is sacked at the 42-yard line, and they're forced to punt. Here's where the game changed. Mr. Mighty Hero Wright, who's been awesome. He's a rookie. It's an awful punt. And there's also a holding penalty. So we were punting from our 48-yard line. and the Bears took over on the 50-yard line. So it was like an 18-yard punt and a 15-yard penalty.
That's classic.
2 yards.
Classic.
Next play, Justin Fields 40-yard pass to Mooney. It's a highlight reel catch, a one-handed Odell Beckham type of catch, Chris Carter type of catch. And then Montgomery, our defense just gets soft, and he runs it in from the 9-yard line. It's 21-10 right before the half.
Who was the cornerback playing defense? Do you know?
Who on what?
On the big
on that
splash play.
You know what? I'll have to check that. I do not know.
I know
that.
You lock in on that type of stuff.
I usually lock in on that. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of who it was.
That's okay.
I don't think it was Dantzler. I'll have to check. All right. Before the half, the Vikings started at the 25-yard line. Cousins makes a couple plays. The Vikings get to the Bears' 35-yard line, and with 3 seconds left, we got a chance for a 52-yard field goal from Greg the Leg.
Okay.
Would put us up 24-10 at the half.
Let's go. Get them points. Let's go.
Missed. To the right.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
But, I will say this. They keep making them try and kick these 50-plus yard field goals. This is the second week in a row.
Can you get into the red zone?
Maybe he can't. Maybe he's got to be under 50.
Why are you not getting into the red zone, though?
I don't know. We were 21-3, so we got in the red zone 3 times.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Quick strikes.
We're started out pretty good. Halftime, 21-10. Second half, Bears get the kickoff. They return the kickoff and start at their 33-yard line. They drive down the field and score. Defense is awful. Awful. Shell coverage. Donatel, what are you doing? The Bears, they go for 2. But the Vikings stop them, 21-16. They were trying to get to 21-18 to get within a field goal. We stopped them. Then the Bears try an onside kick. It was close, but the Vikings recovered. So they started the Bears' 48-yard line, and then after a few plays, they attempt a field goal from 51 yards. Again, they keep putting Joseph in this no man's land of 50-plus yard field goals. By the way, Joseph, if you want me to measure the distance in the backyard here, come to the house. Come to the 479. I could kick a couple 50-pluses for you and get your rotation working right.
Oh, man, you better pray he does not call you out on that.
You know what happens to the 51-yard field goal? It's blocked!
Yeah.
It's blocked!
Talk us through it.
And the Bears take over at their 41-yard line. It might be time to start thinking about another kicker.
Oh, come on.
Another kicker.
You have no loyalty to this guy?
Yeah, get me no kicker.
I thought you loved this guy.
Love never comes out of my mouth for a kicker.
Oh, thought he was almost in the Hall of Fame.
No, that was punter. Anyway, the Bears drive to the Vikings 38-yard line, and they go for it on 4th down. Fields avoids a sack and gets a 1st down. The Vikings do hold, and the Bears settle for a field goal. It's 21-19.
Tight.
21-3. Wilson's outside, sun tanning by the pool. Left me alone thinking it's an easy victory. It's 21-19.
He senses the tension rising.
Vikings, those who don't remember who Wilson is, he's my kegerator of a bulldog, and he doesn't need the tan anymore. He's already got the brindle color. Anyway, Vikings return the kickoff to the 34-yard line, end of the 3rd quarter. All right. On the start of the 4th quarter, the Vikings go for it on 4th down at midfield.
Are you guys desperate?
And they get a flag against the Bears. No, it's this analytics things that everybody keeps talking about. They get a flag against the Bears for defensive holdings, and we get a 1st down.
Nice.
We are going to extend the lead. And what happens on the next play? Cousins throws a pick.
Not good.
And the Bears return it to their 48-yard line. They get to the Vikings 33-yard line and kick a 51-yard field goal so they can kick a 50-plus yard field goal, and we can. Joseph, I don't know what you got to do. Put some weight on the leg, do some exercises, strengthen the leg, run some wind sprints, whatever you got to do. You need a couple more yards. And they take the lead. What looked like a big lead has been totally wiped away. Vikings get the ball back at the 25-yard line. Poised to answer.
Ready to strike. Let's go.
And they start with a false start.
Oh, God.
Then they proceed to go 80 yards. That Cousins finishes off with a 1-yard TD run. Kirk Cousins, a sneak.
Hitting them jet engines.
And then they're like, you know what? It's 27-22. Let's go for 2. And Cousins to Jefferson is good. And the Vikings take the lead 29-22. Bears get the ball back on their 25-yard line with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left. And they complete a pass to former Viking wide receiver Smith Marset, who we cut earlier this year. He was a draft pick last year. We cut him as one of the last cuts of training camp. And he knocks Dantzler. He stiff arms Dantzler, and he runs another 15-yard. But Dantzler gets up, tracks him down, and strips the ball from him.
Now you're talking.
Strips the ball from him, runs it back 25 yards the other way. Vikings take a knee and put an end to the game. They now go to 4-1 with a 29-22 victory over them Chicago Bears.
Well done, Vikings.
So some final thoughts. The Vikings blew a big lead, but they found a way to win. I was exhausted again.
All energy depleted.
By the way, up until this game, the Bears had allowed no TDs in the second half of any game so far this season. So
Until they ran into the Vikings.
So a couple game balls before we turn over to the Seahawks recap. Game balls, Justin Jefferson, big game, was there when we needed him, got the 2-point conversion, had another 33-yard pass. He had a bunch of catches. He's always seems to get a game ball. Second game ball, Cameron Dantzler, the cornerback, strip of the former Viking rookie. That sealed the victory. So I'm waiting for the skull horns. Where are they? All right, you gave me one for each.
That's a DJ background. You gotta drive everything with some music and some good sounds.
Those are the only 2 game balls I have in final thoughts. So, Cap, let's hear what you say about how the Seahawks performed this week.
Well, I am back on the bridge, and I didn't get to see your game because obviously our games kicked off at the same time. So I appreciated the recap. I'm glad you all were able to escape with the victory. I was hoping that we would be able to do the same thing.
Oh, wait.
But that was not our fate.
I was watching the game.
Oh, talk to us.
I was watching the game.
What you got?
And I watched your rookie.
Which one?
Walker.
Yes, sir.
Take it to the house late in the fourth quarter.
Thank you. I can't participate in the take it to the house segment, but you just kind of got us in there with him.
Walker took it to the house, and
he did.
Me and Wilson said it's nap time. The Seahawks won.
No, the ending was more brutal than you can realize, and I'll get us there. Thanks a lot for that prelude. Painful prelude. So here we are. We're on the road. We're in the Crescent City. I don't know if I have family in the stadium, but I probably did, but I know they were watching. Saints versus Seahawks. We're in their house. We win the toss. We defer, which is a trend that Pete Carroll started, and now everybody's trying to do it, except your coach just switched gears on it. We trusted our defense, and we start off. The Saints get the ball. They have an 11-play drive, and they end up having to settle for a field goal. But before they get to that field goal, a couple of things happened. You ever heard of a guy named Taysom Hill?
Yep, I just picked him up from the fantasy squad after his 30-point performance against your team.
Yeah, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He can throw, he can run, he can block, he can pass, he can do a lot, and he did it all against us, unfortunately. So our defense starts out the game okay.
I thought after you saw the statistics of the game, you were going to put him on your fantasy roster, and you had a waiver wire above me, so I thought for sure you had that.
I can't go get somebody that just puts a dagger in our squad.
Oh, I'll remember that. So now moving forward,
yeah. It was brutal. I mean, we've been giving up 100-yard rushing every game, and this game we were like, you know what? We're in the spirit of Thanksgiving. Let's let 2 people get over 100 yards on us, and that's what happened. And the last one, which I'll talk about at the end, put the dagger in us. So we get them to a critical 3rd down and 1. Dalton scrambles to the side and picks up almost the first down. He doesn't head slide, so he's clearly not afraid of our defense. He goes head first. Taysom Hill comes in and tries to run to the left and picks up the first down. First quarter still now. It's early, but something exciting is about to happen for Seattle. Too bad it didn't maintain its way all the way through. But they get a new set of downs. We get them to 2nd down and 8 with about 10:26 left in the quarter, and something happens to Mr. Taysom Hill. You might want to get ready because this is going to jump into a segment. So Taysom Hill takes the snap and runs to his right. Unfortunately for him, There's a very focused and very strong and very angry man named Mr. Al Woods who legitimately bam-bams Taysom Hill. I mean, he wrecks him to the point, and I should point out also, Al Woods is the oldest guy possibly on the field. He's 35 years of age and balling out of control, dominating the line of scrimmage. There's two guys that are trying to block him on this play. Guess what he does with him?
Oh, no.
He sheds them. He sheds them. I know you do, and I appreciate that.
I said that last week.
Yeah, he sheds them, throws them, and then he gets Taysom Hill and blasts him backwards. Thank you for that Bam Bam award. Shout out to Cam Chancellor, of course. So that's a good start. We're like, okay, now it's 3rd down and 5. And what happens? Dalton throws it to their rookie, Olave, their first-round draft pick. I forget if his first name is Chris. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Chris, yep.
But there's a problem there. Kobe Bryant, our rookie also, we got a little rookie-on-rookie thing going on, is right there and punches the ball out, so it's an incomplete catch.
Oh, it was a touchdown.
No,
they
Kobe Bryant wasn't having it.
They ruled it a touchdown.
So 2 rookies going at it. Seahawks defense. I'm not taking your bait.
What did it end up being a touchdown?
The Saints ended up settling for a field goal.
No, it was a touchdown. They reversed the call.
56-yard field goal.
They said he had possession.
No, the first touchdown of that game came through Geno's arm, and we're going to touch on that.
No, I'm saying is Olave got credit for a touchdown on that play.
No, he didn't. No, I don't know what game you were watching.
All
it was
right.
a different dimension.
Open item.
I got the flow chart right here also. Field goal
got no
first.
pen tonight.
By them. Second score was a Seahawk touchdown.
Was that the one where he got the concussion, Olave in the end zone?
That was later.
Oh, that was the
later.
touchdown.
Yeah, that
okay,
was a touchdown.
I got it mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to get
No,
me caught up on something. I'm like,
no.
man, this is a new strategy tonight. I got to be on alert around here.
I remember seeing because I know he got hurt.
He did, and I hope he's okay because he definitely was.
Yeah, he practiced today.
Yeah, okay, good.
I thought that's where you're going.
So we forced them to kick a field goal, which was good. It's 56-yarder. They made it. Geno comes out. You know, it is what it is. Somebody scores. So what? What are we going to do? We're going to try to do the same thing. So we actually conduct a 7-play drive. Starts on our 25-yard line. And pushing forward, there was some good plays in the middle of it, including a play that DK Metcalf made where he made a really, really nice grab and gets us actually, there's 2 guys, number 29 and number 32. I don't have their names. They clearly didn't want anything to do with DK, but basically Geno gets the ball. He gets a little bit of a pressure. He moves up. He dumps the ball, and he gives it to the guy that can make things happen. And that guy's name is DK Metcalf. Now, the announcer cracked me up because he uses the language that I use when he says DK put the okey doke on him. DK runs kind of a curl route. He settles for just a second, and then he releases. And Geno picks him up, gets him the ball. He bails to the end zone. We'll also call it the house, but he can't make the house call this segment. And there's 2 DBs on him. One of them gets straight torched. The second DB comes up, could actually hit him, possibly stop him from getting into the end zone. Wants no part of it. So guess what? We get a touchdown. So now it's 7-3. We're moving forward. This is still the first quarter.
7-3. What was the final score?
Oh, I'll get you there.
No, I don't care about saying. So we're at 7-3.
Yeah. Oh, the final score was. I'll tell you if you really want to know.
No, we got to it.
Okay, we'll get there. You gotta help me build up some anxiety at least a little bit. I mean, good grief. You know, all the Seahawks fans listening going, we know we lost, but let's just talk about some of the good that we did do.
Well, so wait. So are we in Pleasantville right now?
No, we're just in Hawksville. This is the way it goes for
Hawksville and
us.
Pleasantville is that they don't.
We have a tough life, man, just like you guys do. So you guys coming out with W's and we're not, but we're working on that. So before the first quarter ends, after we get this touchdown, we get another 7-play drive. We end up settling for a field goal. Some good things are in there. Saints get the ball back, and they go on a 13-play drive from their own 31, and they end up getting a touchdown with Taysom Hill out the shotgun, and he rides off to the right, almost untouched. Everybody knows he's going to run the rock for the most part, although he does throw a dime later and shakes us up. Guy's wide open. He throws the touchdown. But at this point, it's 14-14. So we move. This is all in the first quarter. So we slide into the second quarter, and I'm like, okay, the defense is starting to vacate the premises again. And they did. So the next series in the second quarter, New Orleans gets the ball. They have a 3-play drive that started on our 13-yard line because guess what? Our punter, who I like a lot, takes the ball on a punt. He was doing what they call a rolling right punt, like the Australian rules football type of deal, to try to move the pocket, move the pressure.
In the
Either he thinks that he sees a lane, or he he gets caught up and thinks that he can still make his kick, but then the pressure's on him too fast because people in the NFL are not slow. So he gets hit. He loses the ball. The Saints recover the ball. I'm absolutely furious, but there's nothing I can do about it. And so 3 plays later, Taysom Hill runs into the end zone. So this is not looking good for us, but it's life. It's the life of a Seahawk fan.
No, that's not true.
Of late. When we
Of late. Nah, don't say the life of a Seahawk.
Our life
man.
was even worse before. We're competing for 4 quarters. I'm good, but I want to get the wins.
Yeah, before like 5 years ago.
Right. So next series, we get the ball. We have a 10-play drive, and it ends up with a 31-yard field goal from, Mr. Michael Myers' brother, Jason Myers.
I traded him to you last year.
Yeah. And so it is what it is. And now we end up getting the ball back, though, before halftime. With not a lot of time, we had a 13-second drive. And I'll go into more detail about it, but this was at the 50-yard line. And again, this was to Tyler Lockett. This is worthy of our Halloween special, but it got even worse for the defense later. So long story short, Tyler Lockett gets a 50-yard TD with 13 seconds left in the half, takes us into the half, and we regain the lead. So
Doesn't sound like a lot of defense in this game.
no, again, highly frustrating. And there's nothing that I can do about it. Not controlling the
just
edge.
watch.
not controlling the edge, which we've talked about on multiple occasions. And watching our offense do everything they can to win on the road, scoring 29 points in a hostile environment. It's almost frustrating to continue to go through these stats because it's just offense is just gashing defenses. And it's like, okay, I know our defensive guys are getting paid. Defensive coaches are getting paid. Where does the onus lie? Whose problem is it and how did they get it fixed? That's where we are right now. Again, we talked about it last week. This is what we need to fix. It's not fixed.
You see what the Steelers did. They fired Tomlin. Tomlin wouldn't take any of the blame. He fired everybody but himself.
He did. I think they're going to
I'm not a big Tomlin.
I think their rookie's going to be starting soon.
He started last week, Pickett.
Did he start or just come in?
No, he started.
Oh, okay. I thought he came in.
The week before he came in, he started last week.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Tomlin, he was a former Viking assistant coach.
Yeah.
I was never a big fan. I thought he was handed a Steeler organization that was well built, and I think time has torn it down.
Yeah.
And now he's blaming everybody else but himself.
I agree with you. So I'm not going to torture folks, but what I am going to do, I'm going to fast forward to the 4th quarter, and then I'll go back when we hit our segment to highlight something that was really exciting. But let's get into the 4th quarter.
What was that? The Taysom Hill final?
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
That was the exciting play?
Not for us.
Oh.
For the Saints fans. Saints fans and one Viking fan who likes to watch us suffer.
You talking about Top Gun?
So 4th quarter.
Oh, by the way, Top Gun has moved. He's never
Don't
really.
you say he's there.
He's there.
He is in the if anything, he's not going to come to the Emirates.
I'm pretty confident he ordered one of those Army versions of the Minnesota Viking jerseys.
Come on, Top Gun.
Is that a fair statement?
Top Gun, is that true?
It's in my cart.
It's in his
But you didn't secure the purchase, though.
I did not secure the purchase.
Come on, is there anything from the Emerald Nation in your cart?
I'll just do it for you, man.
Oh, no, don't do it for me, brother. It's got to be sincere from the heart. So if you ain't feeling us, that's cool. I get it. I totally get it, especially with this season we're having right now.
Well, by the way, you have a lot of good draft picks coming up, so
We do, regardless of how we finish, and we're going to try to finish. We're going to try to finish high.
you don't want to. I mean, you got a boatload of picks.
Yeah, we don't play that game about let's position for draft. We don't. That's the wrong mentality. We don't function that way. We don't. So 4th quarter.
By the way, all right, go ahead.
I'll get to this out. So Rashad Penny gets a season-ending injury. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
he
I
breaks
hate to see
a
that.
bone in his leg. The guy has just been. He was playing lights
And you know what the
out.
worst thing is? They didn't pick up his 5th-year option.
No, he signed a 1 year. He's betting on himself type of deal, and I hope that he can recover. It's going to be tough just because it's kind of it's an ankle/bone thing going on. So I don't know what's going to happen to Rashad Penny, but I appreciated his grit and his heart. So the new guy comes in, our rookie Kenneth Walker III out of Michigan State. 3rd quarter, game's still within reach for us to do something about it. And this is after another touchdown that Lockett got that I'll talk about later. But with about 40, it was a 46-yard drive, and we were in our no huddle. Kenneth Walker III runs to the left and, bails out on a 69-yard touchdown. His first one as an NFL player, first one as a rookie. And we're thinking we're going to be okay. Defense was supposed to come back out onto the field to hold the game down with about a minute and 32 seconds or so to go. And
In what quarter?
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, minute 32 to go.
Roughly. They had 5 plays. It was they started on their own 31. We thinking, okay, we got the lead. We might be able to hold this thing down. And Taysom Hill, I don't even want to say his name. It's painful. he takes the handoff and runs to the left, off left tackle for a 60-yard dagger that basically seals the deal. Unable to recover. We tried. We couldn't get it done. So we ended up losing this game 39-32 in their house. Absolutely had opportunities to get the W, secure the bag. The defense didn't hold it down for us. So it is what it is. Now, y'all got something for me? I'm waiting for somebody to try to pounce or pop out of something on me.
Well, first, before I do the recap, you gave us a Bam Bam. You gave us a Moisturizer moment, right?
No, not yet.
All right, so let's do. You got to finish your segment before I do my recap of the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, my recap is basically done.
You got a tip of the cap or Bam Bam moment Moisturizer? What do you got?
I got a tip of the cap.
Bam Bam. So what's some
tip of the cap for us is going to Geno Smith again. 16 for 25, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He almost had one early, but the guy didn't. It didn't happen.
What about the mistake on the final drive?
What was his mistake?
Not throwing it away and taking that large sack for 20 yards.
Did he turn the ball over?
No, but that was it. He was done after that.
Yeah.
It was Neal's.
He didn't turn the ball over. What's he supposed to do though?
Throw it away and live to play another down.
Oh, so the attack on Geno is alive and well.
No,
that man is not the problem.
No, he's not the problem, but he's not the solution either.
He is a solution right now. If we had a defense, do you know what we would be doing? We would probably be undefeated right now with the way he's played. But our defense is letting us down. And special teams didn't really help either, though. Mr. Dixon you can't be fumbling the rock inside our own territory and kick the freaking ball out of there. You got a super powerful leg, stronger than the guy. What's your punter's name?
Mighty Hero, Mr. Right?
Yeah, stronger than his leg. Get the ball out of there.
Our guy, his nickname is Mini Fridge. Because
how much does he weigh?
He weighs a lot.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
I didn't know that.
6'4", like 250.
And he's a punter?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. But I'll give my tip of the cap to Geno. I would like to give it to somebody on defense, but they have not earned that yet.
If you give it on defense, then I'm going to go play for the defensive squad.
Exactly.
It sounds like
can't do it. Can't do it.
I will talk to Top Gun about this, but later
about
no, it's just something that we deal with out of football about nobody ever does anything wrong.
I definitely am not living that life.
No.
We definitely do things wrong. And like I said, he almost threw a pick earlier, but the problem is not on him. The defense is getting paid to stop the offense on the other team, and they're not doing it, and it's hurting us, especially in critical downs and critical moments. Have a chance to win. We scored 32 points on the road. We give up a 60-yarder in the money quarter? Can't happen. No, but it happened.
Agreed.
So here we are, sitting at 2-3. Just like our upcoming opponent.
So let's my quick Seahawks recap.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? Did the nation hear that? The Seahawks?
I didn't say the sea. What when they were in Minnesota? What were they calling the Seagulls? What?
Oh, the Niners call us the Sea Chickens.
Sea Chickens. All right. Yeah.
I
couldn't even remember.
We call them the 40 Whiners.
All right.
So.
That's a good one. 40
It's
Whiners.
just a little good banter back.
So we had our games were on at the same time, but the Vikings game, got over earlier. So I got to watch the last 7 minutes of the game. And saw the Seahawks rookie running back Walker take it to the house.
Yep.
And I was trying to script how you were going to write that, for our segment, taking it to the house. But you only get to do that when you win.
Exactly.
And then that's why me and Wilson went outside, because Wilson, he already got a little head start on his suntan. I figured I'd get a half hour in. And I get out there, and we come back in, and we turn the 4 o'clock games on. And I found out that on right after we left there, Taysom Hill took it to the house.
He did. It was painful.
And then Seahawks got the ball back. Not a lot of time left, but Geno, like we talked about, made a mistake throwing it away and took a big sack that sealed the victory for the Saints. So, you guys are out there, you're fighting, you're competing. I know we're just goofing around here. I'm calling it a rebuilding year. You'll never ever say that. Never ever say.
We are rebuilding, man. Okay. Honestly, we are. It's pretty obvious.
It's but there's a lot of good pieces in place.
Agreed.
There's a lot of good. There's on the offense side of the ball. There's a lot of coaches in place on the defensive side of the ball, because you've told me the talent's there.
It's there. It's there.
So, the scheme or something is not working right.
Something doesn't seem right. I agree. Now,
Okay.
just real quick, if we get that extra point, we got extra point up. And then if DK catches a touchdown, which he makes 9 times out of 10,
Like I
we
told
still
you,
got 41 points.
like I told you last week,
or 40.
if I was born 5 inches taller and 50 pounds heavier, I might have the muscles that you have.
You might have to. You got to get it done.
So if we're gonna have a segment for if this happened, kind of like that helps no one. I see a fantasy show that does that, helps no one when some obscure guy comes out and scores a touchdown.
Right.
So if this happened, we might win a Super Bowl.
Understood.
Okay. So
Got to get it done.
open items. I didn't think I had one, but I do have one that was brought up prior to the show where Joe Buck, I said we didn't know who his father was. It's Jack Buck, because without Jack Buck, there is no Joe Buck. And Jack Buck, you made a mistake because there should have been no Joe Buck. And I really like the fact that they put the Mannings on the other channel, even though Eli has no personality. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it this week. So I don't know if it's a once a month thing. I don't know what it is. I didn't see it this week. And I can't watch Joe Buck and Troy Homer Aikman. So that was our open item. So let's get to the new segment by the numbers. So this week is number 6. So for the Purple Nation,
There we go.
the home of the new dynamic duo.
The new dynamic duo.
Yeah,
Who might
so
they be?
You would think typically Batman and Robin,
But they're old.
but now it's the. All right, let me see if I can do this right. Now it's the Scolders and the 11s.
The Scolders and the 11s.
Yes, so I will break that down
Let's hear it.
for the Seahawk faithful.
And we see the 11 jersey, so this is another it's a little silent message. Let's go.
I
Talk it up. Talk it up.
So the Seahawks, the 12s represents the fans. So the dynamic duo, the fans are the Scolders and the 11s are the actual players.
Oh my gosh.
Can I get a Jowler horn on that one, Mike?
Oh man. I mean, the players. are the
Scolders.
11s. All right.
And the 11s. Batman and Robin, you are out.
Out of business.
Out of business. Hence, the Joe Cap, Dante Culpepper jersey today. Thank you, Top Gun. That worked out well.
Did you hear the breaking news in Seattle this week?
I did not.
We signed a defensive tackle prospect, 375-pound, 4-legged animal named Wilson.
Wilson.
He's coming in for a tryout to hold the edge, and we have every reason to believe that 375-pound
Kegerator.
4-legged monster
All right.
can hold the edge. Yeah, kegerator.
That means I might have to check upstairs to see if the room is vacated.
You got to check.
Because we could move the podcast room if Wilson is signed with the Seahawks.
He might sign with us. We need him. We need him.
All right. Let's get to the segment by the numbers. Number 6. This is beyond the shadow of a doubt the most unproductive number in Vikings history. Vikings that have worn number 6, Jim Gallery, kicker. He was on the roster for 2 games. No, he accepted 0 kicks. Jay Walker. How do you have a name called Jay Walker? What, are you crossing the street at the wrong time? What do you mean? Quarterback. He appeared in 1 game in 2 seasons. Completed 2 passes for 31 yards. Bubby Brister. He appeared in 2 games. Wasn't he like a Steeler quarterback?
He was.
I don't know what he did. 10 for 20. 82 yards and interception. Get out of here. Hayward Epstein. Is that who was Epstein from the White Shadow? No, not from the White Shadow. From Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yes.
I mean, what he come?
Epstein.
He tried. He was a kickoff specialist for 9 games. Released for failing to bring a note from his mother. Taylor Heineke, quarterback, always a preseason sensation. Never appealed in a regular season game. He did have I think he plays for the Redskins now.
Does he?
As a backup quarterback. Lewis Sign, safety. He's a rookie drafted this year for our first round draft choice. He just suffered a season-ending injury, so I can't. There's nothing. There's nobody I can give it to. I'm not giving it to anybody on this list. I guess a number one pick has to take it, and he just has to carry the mantle and see what goes forward. So, Cap, what do you got for Seahawks at war number 6?
I have. Hold on. Did I do 6 or 7? Hold on. I did 7 here, man. Good Lord.
All right.
Let me go find that site.
No, we'll get it next week.
7 this week. And you can do
you do 6 and 7 next week. All
right, that'll work.
We'll get to next.
Good Lord.
So this segues us.
My favorite segment.
This segues us into the fun facts for the week. Fun fact number 1.
I know you're gonna dig this.
JJ, Mr. Dynamite wide receiver for the 11s and the Scolders, has tied Hall of Famers Randy Moss and Lance Alworth. You know what Lance Alworth is?
Never heard of him.
From the Chargers, San Diego Chargers?
Nope.
Air Coryell?
I remember that offense.
All right, that was the wide receiver from that. For the most games, 6, with 150-yard plus receiving yards in a player's first 3 NFL seasons. That's pretty good.
Those are solid
Pretty
stats.
good. And the skull horn would have been really good right there. Fun fact number 2.
I know you're gonna dig this.
No skull horn after this one. The Seattle Seahawks, who play at home this week,
Yes, we do.
are the only NFL team to have never, ever worn their away uniforms at home. Never.
Why would you?
I just thought it was, when they find these fun facts, it's just something you just don't realize it never happens. Because everybody says, oh, it's hot that day. Make them wear the dark uniforms. All right, and finally, fun fact number 3.
I know you're gonna dig this.
The victory this week by the Vikings makes them the first team to follow up a victory in London with a victory on American soil following that week. So even though it was a tough battle, now you know why it was a tough battle.
You guys made some history.
Exactly. Made some history. Any fun facts for you, Cap?
No, but I have my number 6 history.
You do?
I pulled it up while you were working.
All right, there you go.
All right, so here's a guy named Austin Davis. Never heard of him. Well, I actually have, but he ain't getting it. I have a guy named Frank.
It wasn't Austin Powers, was it?
Frank Garcia. Negative. Russell Griffith. Charlie Whitehurst, who was a horrible quarterback for us. And the present Quandre Diggs. So this is easy for us. Quandre gets the nod there.
All right, good one. Good catch up there.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you.
No ridiculous article of the week. So we're going to get to taking it to the house. HOUSE, the 479 is the place where we be. Why, you say? Because when we win, we bring you the big plays that go to the house. House music. Welcome to the 479, the home of the rhythm and the rhyme. We'll never bow down to the other shows. The 479 is the one that knows. Not followers. We are leaders, exceeders, sharp as cleavers. As Snap would say, don't believe the hype. Ours is the show that's a prototype. The 479 is for sure legit. Can I get a witness? We make the picks during the show, making you the money, as you know. Helping you pick your fantasy squad. Back in the day, it was Ahmad Rashad. Lynch, Largent, Target, and Moss. With them in our lineup, there was no loss. HOUSE, 479 is where we be. The deal, the booth, and the gun. Sharing our knowledge, having some fun. our flow week to week, another new show. House music will take us out. It's old school, there is no doubt. House music. All right.
Can I get a witness?
All right, let's get to the Vikings victory, one that we took to the house, and here's what it sounded like. Start of the second quarter, and the Vikings, they have it. First and goal from the 5-yard line. It's the 11th play of the drive. Here's the handoff. It's to Dalvin Cook. He bounces it outside. He will not be touched. Touchdown. Vikings, 5 yards. Vikings extend the lead. Score!
Happiness throughout. Well done.
All right, that's our segment, taking it to the house.
Nice.
No breaking news this week. No real deal rant of the week.
No rant?
Not this week,
Man,
because we
I like
won.
that.
The rant comes from when there's some pain.
Oh, I like that
Donatel
rant.
got hit last week. How many times can I hit the man?
That's a good
Actually,
point.
you know what?
That's a good
We might
point.
have to get the time where I knock that guy out. Mike, we have that sound
the
segment.
brawl?
Yeah, the brawl.
Backroom brawl.
If the defense continues to play like this, we're going to have to get that back up. So let's get outside the box with the real deal. Only 4 undrafted players since 1967 have recorded 50 career TD receptions. Cap, can you name any of those 4? So 4 undrafted players since 1967 have recorded 50 career TD receptions.
Undrafted?
Undrafted.
That is a serious trivia question.
Serious trivia question. So, any guesses? Obviously, one's going to be a Viking.
Yeah, but I don't know your history that well to know who the heck
All right,
would
so
have been
I'll go with the
undrafted.
Viking last. But where do you hear the names that got this? San Diego tight end Antonio Gates wasn't drafted.
Are you serious?
He had 116. He's by far.
He's legit.
He's
He was
legit.
the whole-
Undrafted.
That's insane.
Denver wide receiver Rod Smith,
He didn't get drafted either?
68.
He's a baller.
New England wide receiver Wes Welker,
Oh, from Hofstra. He didn't get drafted.
50. And Adam Thielen with 50.
Adam didn't get drafted either?
He did
Man,
not.
that's nice.
Undrafted free agent.
That's a good piece of work
Gates,
right there.
Smith, Welker, and Thielen.
That's good work.
Good-
That's good work
right?
there.
Good
yeah.
work.
I like that.
All right, you want to
like
that? I know. That's 2 weeks in a row.
It's catchy,
You're
bro.
emulating
Yeah, it's
Kirk
catchy.
Cousins.
It's catchy.
So would you want to do your week 6 preview first?
I can do that if we ain't gonna hit up the Monsterizer.
Oh,
moment.
no, exactly. No, I thought we were going to do that, but drop it in now. Let's do the Monsterizer
Okay,
moment.
hold on.
Actually, well,
Top Gun, is there a crowd? Is there a crowd scene in there too after the prelude comes through? Any crowd music? Okay, that's all good. I don't need it. It's all good. Kick it off, baby. Happy Halloween,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, your faithful orator, Philistine Craven, and it's about that time for the most glorifying, or sometimes horrifying, and maybe even mesmerizing. It's the Monsterizer moment of the week.
Again, shout out to Phyllis Steele. Appreciate that. So check this out. In the spirit of Halloween, this is our segment where one player, or sometimes two, completely takes the powers away from another player or more and makes him absolutely ineffective. So with 20 seconds left in the second quarter, this is the first half, the alternate for the Iceman in the new movie Top Gun Maverick comes into the game, a.k.a. Mr. Geno Smith. It's 1st and 10 on the 50-yard line. Geno is legit. You know what he does? Because I have to tell you.
please don't. Please
I'm
don't.
trying to stretch it out, brother.
Please tell me.
So listen, actually, by the time he gets the rock, it's like 16 seconds left and 14 seconds left. And Geno just realizes that he's not scared at all and throws an absolute dime to Tyler Lockett. And Tyler puts not one, not two, but 3 Saints inside of the Monsterizer machine. and takes us up 19-17 at halftime. It was a beautiful route. He's pressing the DB. He gets close to him, and then he pops like he's going to hit the flag, the corner route, shakes him off and breaks to the center toward the post. The ball is on time. It's a money ball. Looks like Bats might have carried it right into Tyler's hands. He scores. We go into the halftime up, thinking our defense is going to come out of halftime with us, but they didn't. We'll find them later. I might have to drive across the state to get the country to go get him and have a conversation with my guy Clint Hurt if that car still works. But
Yeah, we got to get that.
that was a good Monsterizer moment right there. It was pretty sweet.
You know what? If you don't do the car segment, me and Mike are going to do it again.
All right,
We're going to
I'm
give
gonna
you
take a trip. If our defense doesn't show up this week against,
we're going to give Arizona.
Yeah, if they don't show up against the Cardinals,
We're going to give you the opportunity, but if you don't do it,
I got to be careful. Though. Clint ain't a small man.
We're jumping all over.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
go
right.
check him
Just
out.
bring a can of gravy. You'll be.
I got to
fine.
go check him out. Oh wow, that man want to eat. You saying that man want to eat? I ain't saying nothing bad about you, Clint.
I will.
I'm just saying you got to tighten this D up somehow, bro, because you're getting paid for it. So just like we was on Shane Waldron, or I was last year when they weren't getting it done, we got to stay on you till you get the fellas right.
All right, let's get to the previews. Vikings are up against the Dolphins, who are going to be a little shorthanded. Definitely, Tua's out, and they announced that Skylar Thompson is going to be their starting quarterback. Bridgewater did practice today, so they might just be, giving us some false narrative here. So the Vikings can't prepare. Skylar Thompson, he might as well be a year ago Cooper Rush, who we lost to. So one of those trap games, which I always talk about, and you have this guy that comes in and these guys relax and say, this guy ain't got no skills, and you got to be careful. So the Vikings are 5-8 all time against the Dolphins, including a loss in Super Bowl 8. So we owe them something. Both of the first two times these teams ever face off were quite notable. The Vikings held a 14-6 fourth quarter lead over the Dolphins in 1972. You know what's significant about that year?
Tell us. 1972.
That's the year the Dolphins would go on to win 14 games to become the only undefeated team in NFL history. We were up 14-6 in the fourth quarter, and we lost 16-14.
Wow.
Yes.
Sounds like something we did.
Exactly. Their second meeting was in the 1974 Super Bowl, where Miami scored touchdowns on their first two drives, and they pretty much cruised to an easy 24-7 victory. So this week, I got the Vikings winning 27-17 if the third string quarterback plays, and if Tua or Bridgewater plays, I got it 27-24. So either way, I got a Viking victory, and I am going to need a pen to write down your picks as you give them. So,
And how bad am I doing right now?
First, give your recap of
You mean my preview?
your preview, and then I'll tell you how well you're doing.
Yeah, this is short and sweet. We're playing a division rival, our first division game at home. They're 2-3. We're 2-3. They got Kyler Murray. He had a very interesting offseason, to say the least. You know, a lot of talk about money, a lot of talk about him supposedly being forced to study film. I don't know what that's about.
It's probably true.
That's interesting that makes it into a contract, though.
Right, exactly.
That's interesting. But they have, they got an older version of J.J. Watt, but it's still J.J. Watt.
Sounds like Entitled.
Maybe. And I can't speak enough on it because I don't know enough, but it's possible. No Patrick Peterson. He's wearing a different jersey this year.
Yep. Pat Pete.
We have DeAndre Hopkins to worry about if he's playing.
He's not. He's out.
He's out. Okay, because he's destroyed us. I think they have another receiver that's pretty darn good.
Rondell Moore.
Is he a rookie or what is his?
I don't know if he's a rookie, but I see him in fantasy.
Okay,
good
that's
numbers.
the guy. That's the
Rondell Moore.
guy.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach's always a problem.
Their
for
running
us.
backs are out, so they're on a third string running back.
Any tight end is a problem for us. We're on a third string running back too. Hopefully, can I technically say that he's third string? No, I think Kenneth Walker is legitimately a second string running back.
Well, you should
Dallas.
remind Seattle Socrates of that because he drafted DJ Dallas ahead of him, didn't he?
No, he's got Kenneth Walker on his roster.
Okay, but he also had DJ Dallas, didn't he? Or no, he had.
I had Eskridge. He might have.
He had
up
DJ Dallas. No, he did, but he cut him.
Oh yeah,
after I called him out on the last.
Because it was a joke.
Yeah,
right?
after I called him on the last podcast.
Socrates, where you at, man?
Actually, Socrates is when we get to the finish.
He got a dub.
Yeah, he's
holding it down. And
He's got the same record as me, so I ain't got much to say. So kudos to you.
Yeah,
Seattle.
he's balling. So
I'm not saying he's balling. He won a couple games. Let's be careful.
He got you, and that's I think he wanted to make sure he got you.
He hasn't beat me yet.
He hasn't.
No. When I play him, I'm going to give him a 10 points cushion.
Okay. So anyway, we're both 2-3.
Yep.
Again, it's a division game. We're at home. I know that everybody's thinking that the Seahawks are going to take the L. I'm not feeling that at all. And I'm going to give you my score. Seattle Seahawks will score 31 points. Arizona will probably score 28. And that's only because our defense hasn't shown me that they're going to be there. But
So you got Seattle 31-28.
yeah.
So hypothetically, if Seattle was on the road against the Buffalo Bills this week, who'd win that game?
If we're on the road against Buffalo this week,
yeah.
what's the weather going to do? Snowy?
Whatever you think is the best scenario for you to win.
You know what? I got to focus on this game right here. That's what I'm
So
going
you're
to
avoiding.
do.
You're avoiding the question.
I'm not going to avoid
You'll
the question.
never pick the
There's no
Seahawks
need
to
to
lose.
answer it because
You'll
we
never
don't
pick
play
the
them.
Seahawks to lose.
When we see them
Never.
in the Super
Ever.
Bowl, then
You
I'll
won't do
address
it.
that. I'll address that game.
Well, that's not happening this year.
If we see them there, though, I will absolutely address
Well,
it in
exactly.
the
But
playoffs.
when you're in the stands, there's not really much you can say to them.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I like that question.
All right,
I was
let's.
prepared. I almost answered it, but there's no need. We got to focus on the Cardinals and the rivalry.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't answer it.
Yeah.
Let's get to the rest of the picks. Last week, the real deal was 11-5, and the cap was 10-6. Yearly totals, real deal 51-28-1. Cap 45-34-1. I have a 6-game lead, and if you talk to our number one fan, 6 is the number that guarantees you to win the year. So I'm already up by the 6.
You might. It might be over.
You got to shrink that. No, it ain't
It might
over.
be over.
But you got to shrink that because when it gets to 6, the number one fan says that's my magic number. So you got to start chipping away at that.
I'll do what I can.
And we're at week 6. I'm
are.
up by 6 at week 6. All right.
6 + 6, we know what that is too. So maybe that'll be a nice omen.
Yeah, I think it's the 11s plus the Scolders, which equals 12, right?
Again, we do high level math on this show. Absolutely.
Yeah, the 11s plus the Scolders equals
Hey,
12.
11 + 1, baby. However you got to get to that 12, let's get there.
All right, let's get to the
Let's
picks.
roll.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Booth when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guide, he goes by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed and comes the real deal, he's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Boot Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. The picks, battle tested.
It's pick time.
Let's get it. Come on, let's go. Let's
All right.
go.
The game nobody's going to watch tonight. Commanders at the Bears. Unless you're a Washington or Chicago homer, nobody's watching this game. Nobody. Right?
I'm going bowling.
I like the Bears at home, 24-20.
Oh, I got the Bears at home also, clawing their way through the Commanders, 21-10.
21-10. All right, let's get to the 40-winers at the Atlanta Falcons.
This should be a good one.
Should be. I got Jimmy, game manager Garoppolo, winning on the road 27-24.
I got the 49ers digging for gold on the road, coming up with the W. Shout out to Faithful from the Bay, Faithful to the Bay. San Fran 28, Atlanta 24.
Okay, Bengals go down to the Bayou. This should be a really good game, but I'm thinking the Bengals get out of here 28-24.
I got the Bengals holding it down with their claws as well, winning in the boot 31-28.
Okay, let's move
Because
on.
the Bengals are going to bring a defense with them.
Now let's move on to the Jets. Traveling to the Cheesehead at Lambeau against the Packers. Another really good matchup.
Agreed.
But as much as I hate to say it,
Go with your gut.
I think the Packers are going to prevail at home 23-20.
Yeah, this one's going to shock everybody, including the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. They are vulnerable. The Jets are hungry. They got a groove going. Jets are going to win on the road in Lambeau. Shake up the NFL to win 27-24 over Green Bay.
I'll take that. I don't care if I lose the game in my lead. I'll take that.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
We got the Ravens at the Giants. The Giants have been a surprise this season with the coach that I said was going to be a great coach, Brian Daboll. And the podcast, I talked about that.
He's been impressive.
But I like the Ravens here, 24-20 on the road.
Wow, almost identical scores. I got the Ravens flying over the Giants and getting it done 24-21.
All right, let's get to the Bucks. Moving into the Steel City. Steelers are a mess right now. Tomlin fired all his coaches because he won't put the blame on himself. He's got to go as well. I know the Steelers have had like 3 coaches in their entire existence, but it's time to move on from this dude. Tampa Bay wins 24-13.
Oh, he did win a Super Bowl, but let's go. I got the Steelers.
Yeah, with a roster from somebody else.
I got the rookie putting in work at home and getting a W for his fans and securing his future. 30-28 over
Pittsburgh?
Tampa Bay. Yeah.
All right, so you got me gaining another victory there.
I got you possibly getting a couple.
All right, so I picked the Vikings 27-17. What you say?
My Vikings score at. Where y'all at? Where's that?
Minnesota at Miami.
Oh, there we go. My goodness. I got you guys pulling it out on the road 28-21. Skull Nation's going to skull on down the road.
28-21. All right, Patriots, who shut out the highest scoring team last week with a shut them out, zip. They go to Cleveland to take on the dog pound. New England's defense is again going to be the key here. They win 20-13.
Yeah, I got the Patriots getting that W also 20-10 over Cleveland.
20-10. So pretty much we're matching up this week. Okay.
Scores are close.
Next up is Jaguars at the Colts. You know what? I didn't pick this game, so I'm going to pick it now.
You want me to go first while you rolling with it?
No. The Colts have been a mess.
Big time.
They've been a mess, but they're at home. The Jaguars are still young and making mistakes. Colts are desperate. Their owners wants to fire everybody. I'm gonna take Indianapolis sneaking it out at home, 21-20.
What? That's exactly my score. I'm thinking the same exact thing. They're both not great. Indy's at home. I got to give them the edge, 21-20. I think they got just a little bit more to.
Yeah,
finish
they're
off.
desperate.
Yep.
All right, Panthers go to the Rams, who are all beat up right now. But who's playing quarterback for the Panthers? I got the Rams winning 24-13.
Rams, where you at?
Carolina at the Rams.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got the Rams lighting them up, 31-14.
31-14.
Hold and serve big time at home.
Okay. Cardinals at the Seahawks. You've already gave the score. Seahawks 31-28.
Yeah, what you got? What you got for us?
You know what? The Cardinals actually should have sent the game into overtime against the Eagles last week. I don't know who their kicker is. I don't know if he's a regular kicker, but he missed a game-tying field goal. I think the Eagles are better than the Seahawks. So I'm going to say the Cardinals win on the road 27-26.
Okay.
Bills at the Chiefs. This is the game of the week right here, dude.
Should be.
Game of the week.
Should be.
Bills win on the road 33-31.
I got the Bills winning this game also 31-30. Should be a game to remember.
Should be.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Cowboys.
How about
At
them?
the Eagles. How about them Cowboys?
Undefeated Philadelphia.
Yeah.
What do you
know
think?
what? Cooper Rush is going to start again. I want to pick the Cowboys, but I don't like the Cowboys. But I don't like the Eagles either. I don't like either of these teams.
What will you do? What say you?
I think because it's at home, I think the Eagles remain undefeated 24-20.
Wow. Good. I'm picking Dallas to win this by 1 point on the road, 28-27, handing Philadelphia their very first loss.
Yeah, I want Philadelphia to lose, but when you're at home, I don't know, it's tough. All right. Broncos at the Chargers on Monday night. Russell ain't right. I think Seattle knew something about the thumb that he was never going to be the same. And they got a boatload of trap picks for him. And Denver drank the Kool-Aid. I got Chargers protecting the home turf 30-20.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know anything about the inner workings of that deal other than we made it and it was mutual. And we made out pretty good so far. What up, Gino? Anyway.
Why, they get Gino in the trade?
Gino's Gino's in the building. So I got the Chargers holding it down, and it might be an ugly one. I got the Chargers winning 27-10
27
over Denver on the road.
All right, just bye weeks, so everybody knows Detroit, Houston, Las Vegas, and Tennessee are on bye weeks. Let's get to the fantasy football segment.
It's time for fantasy football talk to see which teams can walk the walk. Each week, new matchups take place. All teams gunning for first place. Set your lineups, hope for the best. Your team might be good, but mine's the best. Make trades along the way. Ain't gonna help you, you might wanna pray. To be the best, you gotta beat the deal. Lots of luck, cause my team's for real. Let's get to the segment, start the chat. Hey, Boop, what you say about that?
It's Captain Boot, and I'm running on the field like a wild one. Dropping fantasy strategy second to none. I'm casting spells like a mad magician. I make so many damn moves, just like a mathematician. Without my fantasy logic, you'll just be hoping and wishing. And if you don't pay attention, your team will need a mortician. So check out Captain Boot and how I laid out my roster. I'm so dialed in, could never be an imposter. With this fantasy ball, this segment's for y'all. So get in the game and join the fantasy brawl. It's Captain Boot and Beast Gold, so avoid the wreck. For your fantasy success, put our knowledge on deck. It's the fantasy segment. Get in.
All right, we're in.
Let's go.
All right, the real deal. He was outcoached by the young Top Gun. And by the way, Clyde's Edward-Helaire fell on his rear end twice at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, a lot of my heavy hitters did not
El
come through.
Grabador hung on and won 83-79. The real deal faces a must-win this week against a 5-0 smell what's cooking. I got to get it going. I got to get it going.
Do something.
Caps team, the Emerald Nation Monsterizers, lost to the 0-4 Ohio Bonecrushers.
Winless.
80-75, and they also stand at 2-3.
I see you out there.
Connecticut G-Hockey fell to Smell What's Cooking squad 146-126, and he's at 3-2. Next game against Top Gun, Connecticut El Grappador, who they improved to 2-3. Top Gun, you got to take him down. The Game Hunters,
Big
on
game.
a roll,
Big game.
improved as they crushed the Connecticut Wagon Circles 144-117. And now they're going to take on the team that just defeated your squad, the Ohio Bonecrushers, who stand at 1-4.
That's it.
The New Haven Big Mouth Naturals improved to 5-0
Undefeated.
with a 155-129 victory over the Crimson Knights. The New Haven Naturals remind me of the New York Mets this year. They did really good in the regular season, but come playoff time,
Different ball game.
they're going to choke.
Connecticut Wagon Circler's got to look out this coming Sunday.
Seattle Socrates, who stands at 2-3, are their next opponent. Speaking of Seattle Socrates, they got their second win. Congratulations, dude. You earned it. Defeating Access Lord 131-116.
I want to see the Crimson Knights recover
Exactly.
against the Access Lords.
Exactly. So keep in mind, the bye weeks start this week for your squads. So this is where depth on your squad will be a factor, and we'll see how well you drafted for the next 6 or 7 weeks.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I need you to tell me one thing. I want you to tell me who to start at quarterback, okay?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Lamar Jackson
Yes.
or
Geno Smith. Who's Lamar playing?
Lamar is playing the Giants and Geno is playing against Arizona at home.
I'll tell you this.
Weather?
Giants have been good.
They have been. I'm hoping for a shootout a little bit, though.
Yeah. You know what?
That's a tough one, right?
No, it's a tough one. You
It's
know
a
what I
game
would
day
do?
decision.
I'd flip a coin.
Like Harvey Dent, Two-Face?
I'd flip a coin and take whoever won. Heads is Lamar. Tails is Geno.
Head's got to be our guy.
All right, whatever you want to do again. You know
All
what?
right, okay.
You know what?
I'm glad you said that.
So you're gonna have when he flips the coin, Mike, it's gonna be a two-headed coin.
No, I'm glad you said that because I'm trying to figure out who should I start, knowing these defenses and stuff. So I have to check the weather in New York too, maybe. But
Yeah,
Lamar
it's gonna be
can
fun.
go anytime.
Lamar
so
can go
it'll be
anytime,
fun.
and he runs.
Good segment.
And runs. All right. That's going to finish up our fantasy football segment.
That's a wrap.
Fantasy football segment on the out.
It's B Gold, back on the mic, dropping lyrics I know you'll like. The league is now on alert. The real deal is bringing the hurt. New challengers every season. Why worry? There is no reason. Teams might win some games. At the end of the day, I forget their name. A new season and more pretenders. New Haven Natural is the lead offender. Like all the others who come to town, this dude is just another clown. Over the years, I put to rest any questions that I'm the best.
All right.
There it is. There it is.
That's the fantasy football segment. Cap, you still owe us an answer for the second part of that exit right there. So you got to work on it. You got to work on
that.
Okay. So before we close it out, we always like to drop this in. It's the podcast.
It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Normally I'm found on the wheels of steel, but the time has come to drop the field. B Gold is a name that I spin under, but the real deal's a guy who brings the thunder. Back in the day, it was 5 minutes of funk. The deal's on the mic, he ain't no punk. It's cool when I see you break to the beat. As Eric Beat stated, don't sweat the technique. My lyrics will stand the test of time. Working the crowd with my rhyme. Now it's time to get to the show. Bringing the info so you know it's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. If you want history, check 1 and 2. All the episodes have something new. From the front to the back or the bottom to the top. The episodes deliver from the knowledge we drop. The cap is the rhyme and I am the rhythm. Like the defense, we are gonna hit them. With the fun facts and the skull jam. The real deal will continue to rant. Cap brings Hawks news to the show. Never losing sight, keeping the flow. The blue and the emerald green. Cap will tell you who's on the scene. Delivering hits on game day. The bam bam moment for today. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Another episode is in the books. Keeping it real with the hooks. Tune in again later next week to hear more from the streets. Bringing the news for our teams. Nothing's off limit, so it seems. Thanks for hanging, checking us out. We'll be back, there is no doubt.
We're always back week after week, show after show.
Very consistent, reliable. You can count on us.
So Scolders, 12s, and all you football fanatics, thanks for tuning in to the podcast today for our Week 5 recap and our Week 6 preview. Tell your friends, families, and coworkers about the show. Have them tune in, subscribe, and follow the show. Week 6 is upon us, and a game at home. No, a game on the road against the Dolphins is on the slate. The Vikings, we got to keep it rolling. We got to keep on keeping on. So, Cap, as you always do, bring us home.
Well, as you know, Arizona's 2-3. The Seattle Seahawks are 2-3. And you know what that means? Something's gotta give. No way around it. So the bottom line is it's going to go down in the Emerald Nation, specifically in Lumen Stadium. The 12s will be there. The Emerald Nation will be on fire. And word on the street is the defense is going to show up. So I'm going to hold them to their word and expect them to be there. So as you just said, let's rock and roll Hawks and show the NFC West that we want to be in the dance. And you got to dance to be in the dance, baby. So get your earplugs out because the 12th man will be repping. And with that, there is no doubt. So Emerald up, and we will see all of y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. 12s. Scolders
baby.
plus 11s.
Let's go. The
Something
ones
new.
and the twos.